This is Bev, and welcome to the Path of Currency. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the Enraged Strongbox Sextant, and I'm trying to figure out if it's worth it or not. As of right now, the Sextant costs over a divine, so you need to get over a divine worth of value out of this Sextant. Now, I have 100 maps here, and I'm going to run them and figure out if the Sextant is actually worth it or not. Additionally, I'm running the Chayula Sextant, and I'm running the 2 Strongbox Sextant. I looked into using the 16 use one, but it was too expensive for what it gave you. For my scarabs, I'm using Gilded Divination, Gilded Ambush, Gilded Breach, and Gilded Reliquary. And finally, I'm using the 16 use Breach because it gives you 2 breaches. This compass is more expensive, but I think it will be worth it due to using the Chayula Breachstone section. Alright, to walk you guys through the Atlas tree, I have points allocated in Breach. More breach. I have every breach node taken except the ones that make them open and close faster. You actually barely have enough time to do it without these nodes, so at least for my build. Additionally, I'm taking the better chance for yellow plants, all the harvest nodes, some map drop nodes, strongbox node. So you might be thinking, breach with wandering path sucks. You're missing all the good notable. You're missing the ones that give you more breaches. You're missing the breachstone drop from the boss, and you're missing the duplicated boss. All of these notables aren't actually that great. After the rework, this is a 20% chance to drop double splinters. That's barely noticeable. This one has a 50% chance to be duplicated. Somewhat noticeable, but it's not even 100%. This one is, honestly, this is the one that hurts the most to lose because it just gives you more breaches. This breachstone notable doesn't actually drop you that many breachstones. A 4% is very low, and even if you got a boss every map, that's 4 breachstones from 100 maps. And then it kind of sucks to lose this heavy breach. As I said earlier, you actually are kind of stressed to get all the glass hands in time. And finally, we're missing this 20% monster density, but we make up for it with Wandering Path and taking these density nodes before. This node is unimpactful due to Wandering Path, giving us enough breach chance, and this node hurts a little bit, mostly just the 3 rare monsters. So if we look at Wandering Path, without Wandering Path, we have a 36% quantity of splinters and a 48% quantity of splinters dropped from monsters. And now if we take Wandering Path, obviously it's doubled. So we're getting way more splinters. And the splinter from the clasped hands is actually really noticeable. So I've already finished the maps, and I can tell you during the maps, almost all the splinters came from the hands. It felt like 80% hands, 20% monsters, and I would attribute this to Wandering Path. Additionally, Wandering Path amplifies Strongbox, and I really wanted to test out the Enraged Sextant. So these 4 nodes give us an extra pack of monsters from the Strongbox. These nodes let us open a Strongbox an additional time. It's a 12% chance. This happens fairly often. And then these nodes are kind of whatever. More diviners are nice, but you don't get the duplicated drops. So it's like an equal trade-off. You get more diviners, but you don't get to dupe. These map modifier effect nodes are probably the strongest nodes on the tree with Wandering Path. They turn your maps into automatically 200% quant, 60% pack size as soon as you open them. I was running out of points, so I invested my last 3 into Shrine Chance, just because it spawns monsters, and that is my treat. So out of the 100 maps that I ran, I got 3 memories and 2 Voidborn keys. I dropped 1 Empower support. And here are the div cards. I'm sure this is what you're curious about. I dropped 6 Brother Gift and 2 Brother Stat. I actually got unlucky, I would say, on both of these. Mostly the Brother Stash. I should have gotten around 6 of each. I also dropped 2 Dragon's Heart and 2 Chosen. You see a lot of cards here. These are all just cheap. You don't have to worry about these. I picked them up mostly to just keep track of my div cards. As for uniques, I dropped 2 Aegis Auras. I dropped a Bina's Kitchen Knife and a Voltaxic Rift. These are both tier 0 uniques. They're the same rarity as Headhunter. I just got unlucky. I could have dropped 2 Headhunters in this test, basically. I think it's pretty lucky that I dropped either one of these, to be honest. I dropped this Black Suncrest with almost good stats, and I evolved this Crown of Eyes for a power charge, which is around 3 divine. Nothing else here is too notable. I didn't get any expensive uniques really, except for the most expensive unique is this Crown of Eyes that I evolved. I'm already starting to notice that Strongbox is not as good as Abyss. in terms of uniques at least. As for my breach returns, here are all the breach stones I got. I dropped 127 breach stones in 100 maps. So Wandering Path with breach is actually good. You can check Snoobay's video. He also did a 100 map breach test. And I believe we dropped about the same amount of stones. He might have dropped like 10 more than me. So I don't think Wandering Path is hurting breach too much. As for other currencies, I dropped about 100,000 life force and 13 divines and 10 exalt. And then all this is just gumball currency. I did get a veiled chaos altar, so I got 16 veiled chaos. It's pretty sad. Here is my map sustain. I dropped 382 jungle valleys. So I almost dropped 4 maps for every map I ran. I'm counting these as around 4.5 chaos. I set jungle valleys my favorite because I want to do some tests with this after this video. Going into my trusty spreadsheet here, as always I have my expenses here. The total test cost 65 divines and my revenue was 122 divines. So like I said, was the Enraged Strongbox worth it? I spent 28 divines buying these, using them, and I think the answer to that is a glaring no. I tried to track the loot from the Strongbox monsters. I could notably say they dropped a lot more items. I did get a lot of divines from the Strongbox monsters, but that does not make up the cost of 28 divines. Actually, down here I tracked every brother's gift that I dropped, and I did not drop a single brother's gift from a Strongbox monster. I also did not drop a brother's stash from a Strongbox monster. And even further, I did some tests. So like my last video, I counted the cards that I got from every league mechanic, the raw cards. Again, a raw card is any card that can drop in the map. So any one of these that has a weight, because her mask and the trial can't drop. So I counted all the cards, I unhid them from my filter, and on average, every Strongbox will give me 1.4 cards. And this is with the 500% increased quant sextant. So a takeaway from this is that on average, I was getting 35 cards a map. So I should have gotten 7 brothers gift and 7 brothers stash from this 100 map test. So what we can do with this information is we can find out how many cards I got from Strongbox, and if the sextant is actually even worth it. The 500% quantity increase from the sextant is, I'm pretty sure, additive with the map quant. So these monsters my maps were already having 200 to 300% quant. So 500% from 200% is around a 3x multiplier. So if we divide 20 by 3, so simulating taking out the sextant, we are left with around 7 cards per map from around 15 strong boxes, which leaves us with in total 22 cards from the map instead of like 34. So as you can see, that would lower our brother stash down to 4.5 from 100 maps instead of 7. So basically what I'm getting at is this sextant is giving you around 1.5 brother stashes more in 100 maps, and you're paying around 30 divines for that bonus. 1.5 brother stash is not worth 30 divines. Oh, obviously you're getting more than just div cards from these monsters, but you're not going to get that much more. I think as the solo player with limited magic find, I don't have any quant in my gear. I don't think this sextant is worth it at all. If I were to not use the Strongbox Enrage sextant and instead I use the harvest compass, which doubles my life force, you can see that my ROI goes from 86% from the whole strategy to 291%. And I have this as a negative because that's what I would have gained. That bumps our divines per hour from 4.2 to 6.8. Now obviously I would have dropped a little less currency. I definitely do not gain 28 divines of value from this sextant. Now I can talk about what is worth it, and breach was insane. With a small caveat is that you have to click a lot on all the splinters, on all the hands. But if you can get past that, breach, there's so much money to be made in breach. 148% return on investment is insane. And you know what's funny is the sextant compass actually costs less now. When I bought it, it was like 55 to 50 chaos, and the current prices right now are 40 chaos. So it's looking even better to try breach right now. As for everything else, as I showed you in game, I dropped the life force, which is listed here. I have general currency, which is just what excellence is telling me is in my currency tab, and I subtracted the life force because that's included in currency. Valuable uniques is 600, mostly because of the power charge crown of eyes. I have 719 the unions if I bother to turn these in. This miscellaneous category just includes the reliquary keys, the empower that I dropped, and some of the invitations for like the Eater of Worlds invitation, and anything else that didn't fall into general currency. Like I had a few div cards that were valuable from the diviner strongbox. I just put them here. I can talk about the overall strategy and if it was worth it. And basically, like I said earlier, I think it's worth it as long as you don't run the Enraged Strongbox sextant, because that was extremely underwhelming and very not worth it. Per map, these maps still took me 8 minutes, even though I got rid of Abyss, because it took so long to loot all the breach stuff. And that leaves me with 5.29 divines per hour, which is nothing crazy, but it's not bad for a no magic find. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. I have a map showcase coming up next if you're interested in that. If not, thank you for watching. Here is an example map.
Spreading chaos.
The way I do these now is I proc the influence.
Oops, clumsy me.
Then I run to the boss. I am lagging so bad right now, so I might die. Okay, well, usually it's not this lag. Right, once I get to the boss, I just kill the boss, and then clear the rest of the map. And the reason I do that is to get quant altars, or just any altars that I don't want boss altar. I do have the chest mastery, so I will be opening chests. It's not a huge deal to be opening chests. So basically I'm going to clear the map but not hit the breaches, and I save the breaches for live.
Smoke weed every day.
So it's not a huge deal if I open the chest because they have so much quant already. The extra 100% that I'll get from altars won't really affect them too much. Although it is annoying when chests blow up on me and I'm not expecting. The only minion altars I'll take is like Grand or Gilded Scarabs. And obviously Divine Orb. Right, so that is most of the map. So I open the breach, and the breach hands are very important. It's where almost all of the splinters come from, is breach hands. So the chest mastery is really nice because it just opens them for you. And it's extremely important to hit the boss hand because it drops anywhere from 10 to 20 splinters. I do the harvest so I don't forget. Always going for blue names, and yellow has priority. If it's purple or blue, I don't really pay attention to it too much. I just pick whatever one has more blue name. Usually I loot the map as I go, but I'm just gonna not loot the map, so this is faster for you guys. It is worth noting that this strategy takes a lot longer due to looting all the splinters. As you can see, I got a hand down there, drop 12 splinters. Hand.
The cycle of life and death is supposed to begin.
These small hands will drop anywhere from 2 to 4 splinters. I usually get 4 breaches a map. Sometimes I get 3 if I am unlucky. Sully. Love to see that. It's not the end of the world if you die in a breach, as long as you get the hand. I think that is the whole map clear. I'm just going to loot the map. If you've watched this all the way to the end, thank you so much. And also consider subscribing. I have more video ideas coming up. Alright, peace.